Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California. If you're interested in what's happening at City Hall, among other things, or just want to keep track of what our local politicians are up to, welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when future videos are uploaded. What is the future for the July 4th celebration? This video contains an excerpt from the December 17, 2019 City Council meeting. It is part of a discussion and potential action item about council direction on possible cuts to the July 4th celebration, street fair, and sweet potato festival. This conversation had originally started at the October 1st, 2019 City Council meeting, in which Mayor Gurpal Samra indicated he wanted to have the council evaluate these events for possible adjustments. In the video clip that follows, City Manager Jose Ramirez explains that the city does not organize the July 4th event and that the city is more of a facilitator and helper. During her presentation, the Recreation Director pointed out that the department had been asked to make a 10% reduction in its budget and wants to make sure these cuts are in line with the council's and public's expectations. There is a brief history of how the July 4th festival had grown over the years into a regional event. After that, there's the discussion of possible cuts to the event, as well as the possibility of the event being taken over by the Carlos Vieira Foundation.
And that's the end of that one. And then on number 4, this is a discussion for council input on special events plan for 2020. So Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council. So Jackie Benoit is going to come up, and we just wanted to get a little bit more information from council, especially because it came up at one of our last council meetings. First of all, I just want to let everyone know that we're intimately involved in these 3 events: the Sweet Potato Festival, the Street Fair, and the 4th of July, with the exception that with the 4th of July, we're really not the organizers. We're more of the facilitators, and we help out. And so that is really done by a separate committee. But again, it's something that we support. So we wanted to kind of just touch on these, make some modifications because we had some input from some council, and maybe our public has some input as well. So I guess we can start out with the 4th of July one, since it's the one that's coming up sooner, I guess.
I have been asked by council,
Jackie, hold on one second. Yeah, I did have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Valadez. He was going to try to make it out tonight, but I guess he couldn't. But there's going to be a little bit of, they're going to give me some direction as far as whether this is going to be something that the 5150 wants to take on, or if it's still going to be the 4th of July committee. So that's still kind of open, but I just wanted to share that. Go ahead.
Okay. So I am here purely tonight to get feedback from you guys, to see what it is, because you guys get to deal with the public, you know, and respond. And so I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So the July Festival, the history since 2012, the event has been run by a community group, which Jose was just talking about. The event went from 1 to 3 days. The event has grown to a regional event, not just local. The location is moved from Memorial Park to Max Foster Sports Complex, and the fireworks costs have gone from a $5,000 to $10,000 show to a $20,000 to $30,000 show, maybe more. So we kind of brainstormed some ideas. However, these are only ideas, and you can see we would like your input. So one of the options would be possibly to cut back to 1 day. However, the carnival is basically what pays for the fireworks bill. So if we don't have the event 3 days, the carnival most likely would not come. So the other option, or one of the other ideas, is to find another organization like 5150 to take the event and then just allow them to use our facilities. So do you guys have some input on some other ideas or suggestions?
Yeah, Jackie, what I was really waiting for, and I thought we were going to do this. It was also to look at our mid-year budget, see where we act, and gives council a little more idea of what we want. When I asked for this, it wasn't because as a budgetary item as much as that sometimes, like on the Sweet Potato Festival and the 4th of July, the first day is poorly attended. So it was to see if we need to combine. That was the discussion. Is the first day worthwhile or not worthwhile? Is it costing us more than, so that's what I wanted from the council and everybody to give us an input on.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Mayor. One of the things that we were thinking about is we could still have the 3 days, but rather than having activities per se from the city, what can happen is the carnival can take place, but we would just basically have 2 days of activities versus 3 days of activities. So that way we reduce the cost. We also talked about with the chief incorporating more reserves, having more private security, using less city personnel to pay overtime. And, again, that pertains more towards the Sweet Potato Festival and the street fair versus the 4th of July, but we still incorporate some of city personnel for that as well.
In regards to the 4th of July festival, it's just right now for me it's difficult to have or say any input because we're not sure who's going to be really taking over the event, if it's going to be the 4th of July committee or sponsor like 5150. So it's hard for me to really have any input because we don't know, we don't know what the future regarding this event is going to be. But I mean, just in general terms, I would like to see it, happen, but I think that just needs further discussion.
I just got a text message from Mr. Valadez, and he's basically saying that the Carlos Vieira Foundation is planning on being involved pending a vote at the next board meeting. So sounds like let's see. Yeah, so it looks like the Carlos Vieira Foundation is more than likely going to want to take on this event. So stay tuned. So we'll come back to this item.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more of we need to have a different plan because the way it was working right now, I don't think it was working well. City can be on a hook for a lot of things, and we just got to make sure that what we think is going to be the first of the start of the event is where we end up at the end of the event. The city is not liable for things, It was more of that type of discussion as well.
Yes.
So, what do you think? How do you feel about the Carlos Vieira Foundation taking over the responsibility of running the July 4th celebration? Do you have any other comments or suggestions? Let me know in the comment section below this video. If you're subscribed to the channel already, you might want to check and make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube has been doing something weird about unsubscribing people at random, so just take a second to make sure you're still subscribed. And subscribe if you're new. 2020 will be a year of major decisions about things like water rates and who will be our county supervisor, mayor, council members, city clerk, and city treasurer. And I'll be doing my best to keep you informed about what's going on all along the way. Until next time, this is the gardening snail of Livingston, California, because not every critter is hiding under a rock.